Welcome to another episode of Clas Haven Farms. So what we got going on today? Well, today we're going to get the Fire Chief furnace going here in the house, try to warm it up, and I'm going to show you guys how I get a fire started, and then I'll take you guys along with us with some of the stuff that we have going on today and this weekend. So stay tuned. This is your first time here at the channel. Welcome. My name is Andy, and this is Clas Haven Farms. So this is my Fire Chief FC1000E indoor wood furnace. This is the only source of heat that I have. I don't have anything else. I had baseboard heat when I first bought this place, but I ripped all that out and just have this. I've done some other videos on this, so if you want to see those, I'll link some of those up here at the top, and you can go back and look at those. But today what we're going to do is we're going to get this fire going, and I'll show you guys how I start my fire and then how I maintain it. And yeah, what do you think, Lil? Apparently I don't give them any attention. You're knocking that over. So the first thing I'll do is open this door up and kind of see what my coals look like. Clean some of this front door out. This is where it catches in the lip. Yeah, we still got some coals in there. I'm going to actually push some of this down, and then I'll scoop it all out down at the bottom ash door. Some people would say, well, why don't you just scoop that straight out? And I don't know. I just kind of like to run it out the ash door, and then I don't have to worry about hot coals going all over the place because it's kind of contained in that door. Give you guys a closer shot so you can see the inside there. So you can see I got coals towards the back, and that's, you know, anybody with a wood stove or wood furnace knows that. Most of your coals can be back here. They're farther away from where the blower is because the blower blows right about in here, and it's already blown on those coals, and now the ones in the back don't have as much air. And then let me move you guys around so you can see the bottom. There's the bottom of the ash door. So you can see I got some coals in there. So every day I have to clean this out. Every day I clean this bottom door out before I start. And I would say maybe once a month or twice a month, I'll clean out all of the ashes inside the furnace. Just kind of depends on how much I'm burning. Here lately, we're into December, and we've had some pretty cool days and cool nights around here. I think last night, right now, it's like 22 outside. I think the high is supposed to be 41 today. I think tomorrow, I don't think the low is going to be that low, but I think it's still going to be in the lower 30s, and I think the high is going to be around 45. Which really isn't too bad, but so I'll clean that out, and then get you guys set up, and you see what I do to get this fire going. All right, so I'm just going to spread these ashes around, pull some of the ones from the back up towards the front, and then what I use is I take just all the shake that comes from split wood with the log splitter in an egg carton. And I just set that right over the center where the grate is coming from the ash door up. And I'll leave this ash door open. But I'll set that there, and then I'll just look for some smaller pieces that I might have brought in. And it's funny, man, I see people all the time, they make kindling and they do all this, and I will close this off because I am still having some draft when I first get this going of smoke coming into the house. So I just kind of shut that door a little bit. But now I see some people that, you know, make kindling and all that. And it definitely gives you a uniform way of starting your fire. But me, I figure I got all this shake from splitting the wood, and a lot of people just throw it in the woods or whatever they do with it, or burn it outside, which I do some of that too. But I save a good bit of it and just use it for starting fires when I'm here in the house. But I'll leave that bottom door open for a little bit so that thing can kind of vent and draft up. Let's see, she'll put some smoke out now. And we'll just let that sit for a little bit. Usually what I do while that's going on is I'm letting the dogs out, letting them go potty in the morning, and then just kind of keeping an eye on this. And I'll bring you guys back once the fire gets going a little bit better. But you can kind of see this is just going to smoke for right now. But just putting that thing on the stop that's there kind of keeps it from smoking the house up. So I'll see you guys here in a couple minutes. All right, so it's literally been about 2 minutes. You can see the egg carton has taken off. Don't have as much smoke coming out of the door now. So I'm going to let that go for a little bit, kind of get some of those coals going. I do leave this bottom ash door open. And me personally, I just kind of look for a good bit of orange light from the fire coming from here and just kind of listening to it. Once it starts getting really strong, I'll shut this ash door all the way. I'll leave this open a little bit, but I don't know. I know some people are probably going to look at this and say, really? You listen to it and you look at it. And those of you that have wood stoves, you know your furnace, you know what it's capable of, and you pretty much know by sight and sound how to do your adjustments as you need to. So I can hear a lot of crinkling up here at the top, especially where it's coming out of the plenums here at the top for the forced air fan unit. And I can kind of see it's got a pretty decent flame going now. So what I'll do now is I'll close this, not all the way, but just part of the way. And the main reason that I don't leave this opened all the way, especially once I get the fire going, is it lets too much air in. And what I don't want to do is, I haven't put wood on since 9:30 last night, and it's 5 o'clock in the morning now. So I don't want to just start a huge fire right away here in the firebox when it was cold and then just get it hot and going again, because that's not good for this stainless steel firebox. Because again, this thing's stainless steel. It's not the old cast original, so just kind of got to be careful with it. As you can see, those old egg cartons, man, they do a good job. And I have so many of them. People give me their egg cartons from getting eggs or whatever, and I'll just use them. What I don't use to put eggs in, I use for kindling here. But you can see I don't have any kind of smoke coming out now that this fire gets going. And I think that's just because of the way the draft is set up with my pipe going into the rest of the chimney liner. The manufacturer tells you that you don't need to put a draft knob in the pipe because you have this fan. But I do think that I'm going to need to do that. But I just wanted to try a different setup this year to kind of show you guys that. So what I did this year was I brought the pipe out and tried to take it up right away and then in. with this thing being on the stand the way it is, doesn't have like that long section where it just goes straight up for an extended period of time to where you could put a manual damper in there. So I don't know. And I had to actually do that setup. I had to do this setup here because the company that I have that comes and cleans this, because I have a company do it, and mainly for insurance reasons. It's kind of what I have to do. They broke the pipe here. And so the guy's like, hey, yeah, the pipe broke. I broke the pipe. And I was like, okay. And I said, so are you fixing that? What are we doing? And he's like, oh, yeah. I'll just put it in the paperwork and they'll take care of it. I said, so I don't have to call anybody? No, you don't have to call anybody. Okay. And then after about 2 or 3 weeks of not hearing from nobody, I called the company and they said, well, that's not our problem. We didn't install that. We only installed the liner and we're doing a cleaning for you. So we're not going to replace that. And I was like, really? Awesome. So, I don't know. I've kind of gotten to that point in my life where I'm not going to argue with people because it's just, it's not worth it. So I just went and picked up pipe and I was like, all right, well, let me try a different setup and see how this works. And it's done a little better, but it is still drafting, especially when it's cold. So I guess eventually I'm going to have to put a manual damper in. I'm going to give that just a little bit more and then we'll kick it around because we'll have some good coals in there. And then we can put about 3 or 4 more pieces in there, let it go, and then we'll come back and check it. So it's been about 15 minutes or so. I got the chicken whisperer up. He's just getting out of the shower. So let's go ahead and check this. See what she looks like. Oh yeah, it looks pretty good. So I'm going to let that go a little bit more just so it gets down to coals. And then I'll throw wood on before we head out for the day. But I'm going to let that burn down so it's got a nice bed of coals to it. I'll show you one more time in case you didn't get a good look at it. So yeah, I'll let that go a little bit more. We'll break all this up so it's a nice bed of coals. I'll load it up with wood. And then we will head out to Arlington National Cemetery to lay wreaths. And the next thing we got to do is go outside and go take care of the goats before we leave. Right, Lily? Right, Lil? So Lily knows because look, both of them. Like, okay, Dad, it's time to go. Let's go. So just waiting on a chicken whisperer and then we're going to head outside. Animals are taken care of. Now you can see all this is broke up. Nice bed of coals. And now we'll load this thing up while we're gone for the day. Should get about, with that many coals in the bottom, probably a good 5 to 6 hours on this, which will be plenty of time. I don't think we're going to be there that long. I know some guys in the church group said that when they did it before, maybe took an hour because of the amount of people that are there to lay wreaths. So there you go. Nice load. Close that thing off. I think I have the thermostat set for 68 upstairs. I think it's 66 in the house now. So, all right, let's go get loaded up and head to Arlington. So here we are, Arlington National Cemetery. We're about to get into this line. Get the chicken whisperer here, all excited. You can see the cemetery way off in the distance there. So we'll go get in this line and set some wreaths up. A lot of people. Pretty cool. So if you've never done this before, basically come to Arlington National Cemetery. They have these tractor trailers here with wreaths. And you just get in a line to grab a wreath, and then you can lay a wreath at any of these tombstones. It's my first time ever being to Arlington. So pretty cool to see. They say all these will be done with all the volunteers that are here. They'll have every gravesite will have a wreath placed on it within about a 2-hour time frame. All these will be done, so it's pretty cool. At first, they would let you grab 2 wreaths. Now they're down to only letting you grab 1. That way they make sure everybody gets a chance to lay a wreath. So pretty neat. Cool experience. Well, we made it back from Arlington National Cemetery. I'm going to get you guys set up here. So that was the first time that I've ever been a part of Wreaths Across America there at Arlington. It's really crazy when you think about it. We only saw a fraction of how big that cemetery is. The cemetery is like 628 acres, and there's over or roughly 400,000 service members that are buried there. And I take the chicken whisperer, and I don't quite think he understands exactly the magnitude of that. He did kind of show some interest looking at some of the dates. He's really big on numbers. Like math is huge with him. But I hope maybe later on he kind of thinks about that and thinks about the magnitude of what we saw there. And if not, I mean, if anything, it was a good reminder for me for how grateful I should be for being able to do this stuff because of the people that are there. And I just thought maybe that'd be something cool to take you guys along and show you. So we're here back at the house. Now, we did come back here to the house shortly after Arlington, and I did put some wood on the fire, but then we had to leave again because the chicken whisperer had a birthday party for one of his classmates from school. So we're back here at the house. I'm going to go ahead and grab some wood to load up into this bin, and then I'll take you guys in, and it'll still kind of be a pretty good idea of what it would have looked like even after we left, since I did come in and put wood on. So I'll go ahead and grab some wood here, get this thing loaded up, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like in there. And kind of, if anybody's interested in this furnace, I know I've had some extra questions, and especially I always have a lot of interest this time of year because people are getting into heating their house with firewood and trying to look at alternatives and different stoves and furnaces and stuff like that. So maybe this will help somebody else. So I'll get this thing loaded up and then I'll bring you guys in the house and show you the last time loading this furnace up for this video. All right, so it's probably been about 4 or 5 hours since I put wood on this furnace. We left for the birthday party, so we'll pull some of these coals. This is actually looking pretty good. Won't need to put an egg carton or anything like that in there. Just find some smaller stuff and get it going again. If you like this kind of stuff, if this is something that you're interested in, make sure you subscribe to the channel, follow us along, and also follow us on Facebook and Instagram under Clas Haven Farms. And I've been, over the last couple of years, been trying to do at least one video a week. And of course, that hasn't proved to happen all the time, especially with the journey that I've been on the last 3 years. And I've always tried to release videos on Saturday mornings around 6 a.m. But I've noticed with the algorithms with YouTube that most of my viewers come on in the afternoon, like 6 p.m. So I'm almost thinking about maybe releasing my videos on Sundays at 6 p.m. instead of Saturday mornings at 6 a.m. Maybe that'll kind of help out. But I know the girls are happy we're home. You guys don't like it when we're gone, do you? But this is Lily, for anybody who doesn't know. She's a German Shepherd. Lily, what are you? You'll be 2 years old in April, right? So, as I said, if you like this kind of stuff, make sure you follow us along. And as always, I'll see you on the next one. Tell them, Lily. Say, see you on the next one. Hey, you see you on the next one, Dad.